There's a silent killer in entrepreneurship, and most founders never see it coming. It's called the growth trap, the point where revenue is rising, but profits stay flat, your team is burning out, and your stress is through the roof. You're growing, but something is quietly breaking the business from the inside. Most people think scaling A is a linear process. More inputs equals more outputs. But in reality, business is a non-linear system. Pour more water into a bucket with a hidden hole, and all you get is a bigger mess on the floor. The question is, where is your hole, and why is it draining your growth? Today, I'm not giving you hacks. I'm giving you the architect's blueprints, the way real businesses are designed, not chased. In the next few minutes, we'll deep dive into 3 mental models that separate hustlers from tycoons, builders from gamblers. These aren't tactics you forget tomorrow. They're frameworks you'll use for the rest of your career. Stay until the end, because you won't just think differently about business. You'll realize why most people stay stuck and how to permanently rewire the way you make decisions. The first framework starts with a simple but powerful idea, the law of constraint. In any system, there is only one bottleneck at a time. If you optimize anything that isn't the bottleneck, you are wasting your time. Growth doesn't fail because you're bad at everything. It fails because you're fixing the wrong thing. When you optimize anything other than the main constraint, you burn time, energy, and money without real progress. These 3 frameworks are designed to help you find that one constraint, so every move you make actually drives results. Let's look at the founder's audit. Draw a square. Vertical is skill. Horizontal is energy. This isn't just about what you're good at. It's about what fuels the machine. This is what I call the founder's tax, the hidden cost of spending your time in the wrong places or danger zone. If, as an entrepreneur, your decisions and vision create $200 an hour in value, but you spend 5 hours a week on data entry worth $15 an hour, you're not being hands-on, you're quietly burning money and momentum. Every hour you stay in low-value work is an hour your business loses leverage. A real-world example makes this obvious. Steve Jobs didn't write the code or design the circuit boards for the original Mac. He knew his low-skill zone was granular engineering, so he partnered with Steve Wozniak, who thrived there. If Jobs had stayed stuck in the danger zone of soldering and schematics, Apple likely would have died in a garage. Instead, he focused on vision, product, and storytelling, the work only he could do. This is the most dangerous quadrant to stay in. You're excellent at the work, so you feel responsible for doing it yourself. Maybe you're a strong copywriter. You've been doing it for 10 years and you're good at it. But every time you open a Google Doc, you feel drained instead of energized. That's the signal most founders ignore. The strategic move here isn't to hire a junior assistant to help. It's to hire a successor, someone who can fully take ownership and eventually replace you in that function. Growth doesn't happen by protecting tasks. It happens by reclaiming your time and energy. To scale the vision, you have to buy back your focus and, just as importantly, your spirit. If the task doesn't directly move revenue, customers, or growth forward, it's a luxury, not a priority. Early on, your business can't afford luxuries. Your job as a founder isn't to stay busy, it's to stay focused on the few actions that truly move the needle. This is the zone where you become a force multiplier. It's the work where 1 hour of your time creates outsized impact, sometimes the equivalent of $10,000 or more in value. This isn't about doing more tasks. It's about making the few decisions that change everything, setting direction, choosing priorities, forming key partnerships, or designing systems that scale. For example, imagine a founder running an e-commerce brand. Spending an hour packing orders might save a little money, but spending an hour negotiating a new supplier, restructuring pricing, or launching a high-converting sales channel can double profits overnight. The task looks smaller on the surface, but the impact is massive. Scaling isn't about working longer hours. It's the gradual process of delegating or eliminating everything else until you spend most of your time, ideally 90%, in this force multiplier zone. That's when growth accelerates, because the business is finally being led, not just operated. Now that we've freed up your time and positioned you in your highest leverage role, the next question becomes even more important. Where should your money go? Time creates opportunity, but capital determines direction. This brings us to the second framework, the Ansoff Matrix, which helps you decide how to deploy resources for maximum growth. The Ansoff Matrix is a simple way to decide how to deploy capital for growth without gambling. It helps you choose between 4 paths: selling more of what you already sell, selling it to new customers, creating new products, or entering entirely new markets. Each option carries a different level of risk, and the mistake most founders make is choosing the riskiest path too early. A real-world example makes this clear. When Apple had early success with the iPod, it didn't immediately jump into unrelated industries. First, it doubled down on existing customers with better versions of the same product. Only later did it expand into adjacent markets with the iPhone, and much later into entirely new categories. Apple used its capital strategically, not emotionally. And that discipline is exactly what the Ansoff Matrix teaches. This is the safe zone, the simplest and least risky way to grow. It's about doing more of what already works. Think of McDonald's. They don't scale by inventing a space burger every year. They scale by opening another location on a street corner that doesn't have one yet, and selling the same Big Mac, the same fries, the same system. The product isn't the variable, the distribution is. Most entrepreneurs make the opposite move. They fall into shiny object syndrome, convincing themselves that growth requires a new offer, a new funnel, or a total rebrand. In reality, the offer is usually fine. What's missing is reach or execution, a better ad, a clearer message, or a stronger sales script. Growth doesn't come from reinventing the business. It comes from scaling what's already proven. This is called share of wallet, one of the smartest and most profitable ways to grow a business. Instead of constantly chasing new customers, you focus on serving the customers you already have more deeply. The trust is already there, the acquisition cost is already paid, and every additional offer carries higher margins. Apple is a textbook example. Once you buy an iPhone, Apple doesn't stop there. They offer AirPods to improve the experience, Apple Music for entertainment, and iCloud for storage. Each product solves a new problem for the same customer. Apple isn't growing by finding new people, it's growing by becoming more valuable to the people it already serves. For most businesses, this approach is far more efficient than starting from scratch. Increasing share of wallet means higher lifetime value, stronger loyalty, and faster growth with less risk. When done right, it's not just scaling, it's compounding. This is the pivot, changing direction without starting over. It's about finding a new market for a product that already works. You're not reinventing your product, you're simply marketing it to a different audience that has the same problem. Think of it as fishing in a new pond with the same bait. A real-world example. Slack originally started as an internal tool for a gaming company. They realized the messaging platform could solve communication problems for teams across all industries. The product didn't change, the audience did. By pivoting to a broader market, Slack became a multi-billion-dollar success. The key lesson: a smart pivot doesn't require rebuilding your business. It requires recognizing untapped demand and repositioning what you already have for a new audience. Done right, a pivot can multiply growth without multiplying your work. This is new product plus new market, the riskiest growth path and where most scaling attempts fail. It's when you try to launch something completely different for an entirely new audience. For example, if you're running a successful fitness coaching for moms business, and decide to suddenly sell crypto trading software for Gen Z, you're starting from scratch. You have no credibility, no customer data, and no leverage. Growth here isn't scaling, it's building a whole new business from the ground up. A real-world example: Quibi tried to launch a new short-form streaming platform aimed at mobile users while entering an already crowded entertainment market. Despite massive funding and talent, it failed in months because the product and audience were entirely new. They had zero leverage. The lesson: avoid jumping to a new product and new market until you have massive resources and authority, ideally after reaching an 8-figure business. Before that, focus on maximizing your current product and market. Grow where you already have credibility and traction. Now that your time is freed and your strategy is set, it's time for the final framework that transforms your business from reactive to efficient and scalable. The question is, how do you manage the daily chaos? Emails, meetings, tasks, and decisions that constantly pull you in different directions. That's where the value complexity filter comes in. The value complexity filter is a simple but powerful tool to prioritize your work. Every task, project, or initiative is assessed along 2 dimensions. Value: how much impact does it have on revenue, growth, or your strategic goals? Complexity: how difficult or time-consuming is it to implement? The goal is to focus on high-value, low-complexity tasks first, the quick wins that give the biggest return with the least effort. Tasks that are high-value but high complexity are planned strategically, while low-value tasks are delegated, automated, or dropped entirely. Real-world example: a subscription software company noticed many cancellations were caused by expired credit cards. This was high value because it directly affected revenue, and low complexity because setting up an automated email was easy. Implementing this one small task saved thousands in lost revenue with minimal effort. On the other hand, redesigning the entire payment system would be high value but high complexity, worth doing, but not first. By applying the value complexity filter consistently, you stop chasing busy work, focus on what truly drives growth, the Monday morning wins that create immediate impact. High value, low complexity, and maximum return on your time. Focus here consistently, and you'll see results compounding across your business. This is the stage where moats are built, the long-term advantages that make your business hard to compete with. Quick wins are important, but if all you ever chase are small, easy victories, your business stays thin, profitable maybe, but vulnerable. True resilience and market dominance come from big strategic bets that create barriers competitors can't easily overcome. Take Amazon, for example. Early on, they invested in building their own delivery network. It was incredibly complex and expensive, and few people understood the value at the time. But that investment created a moat: faster delivery, greater control over logistics, and a standard competitors struggled to match. Today, Amazon is practically untouchable in e-commerce, in large part because of that one strategic big bet. The lesson: your business needs at least one big bet running in the background at all times, something ambitious, risky, and high impact that builds defensibility and long-term growth. Quick wins keep the lights on, but big bets build empires. Let's get to productive procrastination, tasks that feel important but don't actually move your business forward. For example, imagine you're a consultant with just 2 clients and you spend hours setting up a sophisticated CRM system. It looks productive, it feels businessy, but in reality, it's a thankless task, complex, time-consuming, and delivering almost zero immediate value. The rule is simple: high complexity plus low value. Kill it. Don't waste your energy. Low complexity plus low value? Automate it. Let it run without pulling you away from high-impact work. A real-world example. Many startups obsess over perfecting their website design before they even have paying customers. Dropbox, in its early days, didn't have a polished product page or fully featured platform. They focused on getting a working demo to users who actually needed it. Every minute spent on flashy features or fancy tools before product market fit was wasted effort. By prioritizing impact over busy work, they built real traction fast. Productive procrastination is your trap. It feels important, but it's mostly a distraction. Recognize it and reclaim your time for the tasks that actually grow your business. When you look at these three frameworks together, a clear pattern emerges. The zone of genius scales the mind, helping you focus on the work only you can do. The Ansoff Matrix scales the money, showing you where to invest capital for the biggest growth. The value versus complexity filter scales the machine, helping you prioritize, automate, and delegate to turn daily chaos into efficiency. If you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed, pause for a moment and ask yourself, which of these three frameworks is missing in your business right now? The truth is, applying all three together is what separates businesses that struggle from businesses that scale. Start with your mind, align your capital, optimize your machine, and you'll not only grow your business, you'll build a system that works even when you're not there. Take action today. Pick one framework, implement it this week, and watch the impact compound. Growth isn't about doing more, it's about doing what actually matters. Are you spending time on thankless tasks in the prison, instead of focusing on what truly moves your business forward? Or maybe you're trying to diversify before you've fully penetrated your market. I want to hear from you. Which of these traps have you fallen into? Drop a comment below and share your experience or insight. Your story could help someone else avoid the same mistakes. And if this video gave you a new perspective, share it with your network so more founders can benefit. Let's learn and grow together. Stop playing at business. Start building one that lasts. In Click the Merchant Tree channel, we dive deep into the strategies, frameworks, and insights that actually scale your time, money, and business. Hit like, subscribe, and join me for the next deep dive. You don't want to miss it.